you could say I'm technically retired, but I'm really not. So yes, I'm retired from corporate life, which is completely different from actually being retired for good. And to break it down in simple terms, I don't have to ever work a corporate job, a 9-to-5 job, whatever you want to call it, for basically ever, unless I feel like going back, which I probably won't, or my entire business crashes down. But I can guarantee you, even so, I have the skills and the knowledge and experience to understand how to build a business back up successfully. So I'm sure I could bounce back within 6 to 12 months if I were to lose everything. And to lose everything after building everything up for the last 4 years, 5 years is very, very difficult. I'll tell you that. So unless I become a drug addict or something, which I highly doubt that, who knows what would happen in the future. And I honestly feel like even if I had all the money in the world, like let's say I just had $80 million land into my bank account for whatever reason. Okay, $80 million in my bank. I could retire for good, take care of my family, all that good stuff. What's the meaning of life then? What's the purpose of living? Why would I still want to continue living when I literally completed life? Obviously, you have to serve the Lord, Christian. But other than that, I don't know. You can't really work towards building up to the top. You can't really build an empire. You're stuck at the top. That's kind of what sheikhs are like. If you're born in the United Arabs and then you were born as a sheikh with billions of dollars, what are you supposed to do? You're literally born in a Rolls Royce. Like, what can I say? And then you're going to die in a Rolls Royce as well. So I honestly kind of like this idea of obviously not having to work a 9-to-5 anymore, because that's just straight up slavery. And you genuinely can't scale that. It's absolutely miserable. You get a 2% bonus per year. Bro, inflation's like 6.8% per year to 8% per year. So you're literally losing money every given year because you are not outpacing inflation. That's kind of off topic though. What was I going to say again? It's genuinely nice to be able to not have to work a 9-to-5, but still be nowhere near actual retirement for good. Because I can guarantee you, if you were to retire actually at a young age, you would lose a lot of purpose and fulfillment for the next 5 decades or so in your life. So to be completely transparent with you guys, I'm making, this is Canadian dollars, revenue anywhere between 30 to 40,000 per month on a bad month, and then 70,000 on a good month. And that's about 50% to 60% margins, okay? Across my YouTube business, across my info business, and across some of my crypto portfolios I have. And then some other side projects, I guess. We're ranging multi-5 figures per month revenue Canadian, okay? So after profits, after taxes, after paying my employees, after buying this car, I'm left with pennies. I'm not left with pennies, but I'm left with very little amounts. And by very little amounts, I mean $20,000 a month. So yes, that's enough to obviously, like, where am I trying to go with this? I feel like retiring young is just not a good idea. It's straight up, like, I guarantee you right now, if you were to put $80 million in my bank right now, I'd probably give $75 million to my parents, keep $5 million for myself. So that's enough for me to live good, but I can't retire off of $5 million unless I were to live off of 50 grand a year and put it all into the S&P 500, which is not what I'm trying to do. That is the absolute worst way to live life, because when you guarantee something that is of comfort and you guarantee an end result, you have no reason to push, and you don't have a fear to continue to grind towards the upper echelon of what you're trying to hit. I said this in my previous videos, but guarantee eliminates fear, and when there's no fear in doing so, you will never leave your comfort zone, which will never result in growth. And growth, going through failure, learning from your failures, gaining experience, and shifting into another dynamic to find a better solution is what will help you grow in anything. And that is exactly what retirement will kill. And that's why everyone should retire when they're 60 or 70, when they genuinely cannot function anymore. Because if you can still function, what's the point of leaving out all your abilities and potentials that are on the table? This car is very small. I wish I had a bigger car. And a 9-to-5 can never retire you. A 9-to-5 can never retire you because you obviously know you're literally scaled at a peak, right? So all of you guys watching this video, I'm not sure how old you are. I'm hoping that you are similar in age, like 20 to 30 years old. If you're 40 years old and watching this, you should probably start to build an extra stream of income for retirement. And I'll tell you exactly why. I'll make this very clear. I knew at a very young age that the corporate life that you're living is going to give you comfort forever. You are killing your dreams off of $80,000 a year. You're killing your potential, your capabilities, and what you can actually achieve if you genuinely give it your all into a much higher leverage potential activity just because of comfort of 100 grand a year, 120 grand a year, whatever you're making. Let's say you're making 200 grand a year as a 9-to-5 job. That's great. But that's not enough to retire your parents or retire your family for good. Yes, that's a bad idea. You shouldn't do that. But at 40, 50 years old, you should start to lean towards that. And I saw this quote. It goes like this: if your 9-to-5 corporate job is your only stream of income, you are one step away from poverty. Do you want to be one step away from poverty? Obviously, this goes to anyone who just has one stream of income, so I'm not targeting you 9-to-5ers. What I'm saying is, though, if you don't have at least 2 or more active income streams, you're very, very close to being on the brink of unemployment. Not even unemployment, just on the brink of povertyness. If you think about, okay, I'll just take my business out as an example. YouTube, that's super broad. Sure, it could count as only one stream of income, but at the same time, I make money off of YouTube ad revenue, off of affiliates, off of brand deals, and off of selling digital products. So I have 4 active income streams. Sure, some pay more than others, but if one goes down, if I get demonetized, cool. I'll just start focusing more on affiliates. Somehow, for whatever reason, my affiliate channels get demonetized. Okay, I'll just start selling digital products. That goes off the roof. Okay, I'll just connect to brand deals, promote their products, get a commission. And the beauty about retiring young is that you cannot physically actually retire young with a 9-to-5, because like I said earlier, you can never retire early with a 9-to-5 job. It's just physically not built that way. It is built for you to go through 15 years of school. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I had a client of mine, InSearch Accelerator, say that he was spending 2 hours for one question on a university question because he's in some engineering thing, which is great for him. He's super smart. So kudos to him because he's probably a lot smarter than me in terms of school and academics. Okay. But if he had 4 questions, which he did have, 8 hours, you would spend a whole day to answer a couple questions. That, if you think about that itself, what does that mean? Because no question should take 2 hours to solve. No question in the entire universe where it's about A, B, number, numerical, it shouldn't take that long. So if it is taking that long, it's almost seeming like as if they're trying to waste your time. If you're spending 15 years of your entire life after like elementary school or high school to continue going to university, getting a degree, getting a PhD, and then once you land a residential job for whatever degree you have gotten into, you have to spend 2 years of residency, get like 60 grand a year, and then you finally start making 100 grand a year. 100 grand a year is barely enough for you to survive. I'll guarantee you that. Because after taxes, what are you left with? 60 grand, okay? What do you have to pay every single month in rent? 3K. What do you have to pay your parents and yourself? 2K every month. That's 5 grand a month that you're spending. 5 times 12 is 60, so you're left with nothing. 100 grand a year is genuinely not enough for you to survive, and heck, even retire early. So going back to my original equation, the beauty about being able to retire early is that you genuinely had to do it from some sort of external factor, which is going to be online business. An online business, to a certain degree, is always going to be more passive than a 9-to-5 job. Because what are you getting paid for your 9-to-5 job? Your time. And you cannot scale that. You cannot replace your time. You cannot automate your time. You cannot just give your tasks to another coworker. You could try that. You'd probably get fired. But you can genuinely do that in business. And that's exactly what business is. Setting up a high-level skill to make money off of the online industry, and then shifting that skill to someone else so that you can automate the work passively. You pay them some portions of the money, and then you get your own time freed back up while still generating income. That is exactly what your boss is doing. Your boss is probably owned, like the boss above the boss above the boss. So the CEO/founder, they founded a multi-billion-dollar company, and then they have outsourced all the work to people like you, 9-to-5ers. And this is, again, in no way attacking you guys, but this is just simply to show you the reality of what it's like from a person perspective that has retired early. If you want to actually retire early, get out of your 9-to-5. That's not meaning to quit your 9-to-5, but you should genuinely set that as your last resort, if that kind of makes sense. And I can guarantee you, 9-to-5ers, you have time. You have all the time there is to start and build a business. Because when I started my own business, sure, I wasn't working 8 hours, but I was pretty busy. I'll break it down for you. At 5, I would wake up, go to training, because I used to swim. I would swim for 2 hours, finish at 7:30. I would then go to school for 6 to 7 hours, get off at 3 p.m., and go train again. Because I was one of the elite swimmers in the whole entire nation. I'm not even joking. If you don't believe me, I don't care. Just search up Daniel Wang swimming. You'll see me. So then from 3 p.m. to then 5 p.m., I would swim. And then after that, I had another 1 hour dry land, which is basically just on land activities of stretching, working, exercises. That was still part of swimming. So I would finish everything at 6:30. When I came home, it was 7 p.m. From 5 a.m. to 7 p.m., I was working. And then I would still manage to be able to do my homework, start my business, and scale my business. So by the time I graduated, I already had a full-on automated system that was printing me 5 figures a month. You can't do that. You think you can't do that because you think you don't have any time, but that's completely irrelevant because every single individual in the entire world has the exact same time as you. Elon Musk, the most busy man in the entire world. He has time to run two multi-trillion-dollar companies, SpaceX and Tesla, and he still has time to respond to random nobodies on X.com. If you feel like you genuinely deserve to have financial freedom and you genuinely deserve more for yourself, ask yourself this question. What have you done to deserve it? Did you manage your time completely every single day, no matter the circumstances? Or did you doom scroll that night? Did you go on Instagram or TikTok, scroll for 2 hours, watch some YouTube, chill out for the day? Because there's a fine line between giving yourself enough to rest and recuperate from a long work day and telling yourself that it's just another day of doom scrolling. Does that kind of make sense? I really hope what you have heard of me saying today genuinely makes sense and not just me sounding like a prick, because a lot of you guys might actually think I sound like a prick, and I understand that completely because I probably kind of do sound like a prick, but the intention of what my words are behind my vocal cords is that you have potential just like everyone else because you are not in a third world country. Hopefully you have access to Wi-Fi, laptop, water to drink. You're a fully functioning male. Hopefully you're a male. If you're a female watching this, I'm sorry. You can still do this as well as a female. There's no reason for you not to build in your free time. Look at your phone and look at your screen time for Instagram. Look at your screen time for TikTok. If you remove those two equations and use that time instead towards starting your own thing, whether that be YouTube automation or starting your own business in, I don't know, selling pens, it doesn't matter. Do not try to retire early if you're 20 years old. Okay, keep on grinding, keep on working, give the majority of your money to your parents if you can, because they deserve it so much more than you. They have literally sacrificed their 30s and 40s and probably even 50s to raise you, and they've given everything they could to make sure that you are put in the best position possible. And so for you to just live an average life just like everyone else and pretend that you have done good and not give back to your parents as much as you possibly can, you are doing a disgrace for your bloodline. So if you're at a stage in your life when you are able to obviously live because you have a sustainable income, but you're not able to get out of living paycheck to paycheck, you cannot retire your parents. And by retire, I mean giving them at least $5,000 per month. If you cannot do any of those said factors, look at your life and look at this equation. What are you doing wrong? Is it that you're genuinely giving your all into starting a business for many, many months and even years, slaving away, you still cannot see any progress? Or is it the fact that you are too lazy or you're too arrogant to start your own thing and actually learn from someone who has done it themselves? Because if you genuinely have tried your very best to start a business for many, many years and you still have failed, that just means that you're lacking information and you're lacking execution. So the best way to fix that is to get someone who has already done it, ask them to help you, pay them a few grand, and then get to the end result. This is what I also don't get. I've said this on my Instagram story yesterday. There are individuals out there who is not willing to pay $5,000, $6,000, $2,000 on a mentor that genuinely has run a business before, proved it, so then they can help him get to the exact same situation as the end goal that they desire. But they would spend $50,000 or $80,000 on a business course at Yale, which is cool and all, but you're spending $50,000 to get a degree and to learn how to do quote-unquote business from some old person that has probably never ran a business before. Sure, they may have ran a business in the past, whatever. The point is, if you're spending $50,000 to land a degree and then go to get a job that pays you $60,000 a year, you are cooked, bro. That is the definition of delusion. You can spend a tenth of that price on someone who has genuinely done a business and is still currently doing a business, and ROI within a year, instead of wasting a decade, 4 years of schooling, 4 years of job, and then after taxes, after paying back that debt that you own for that 100 grand, then you profit. I'll tell you this, I shouldn't tell you this, but my mom went to a business degree. I love my mom with all my heart, okay? She got into business school, 4 years, came out. She had a master's degree. So she got a bachelor's in I don't know what she got a bachelor's in, but then she moved from her home country, China, over to Canada. Studied 4 years in business, got a master's degree. I just repeated myself, so apologies on that. But and then I genuinely feel bad for her because she didn't really get anything out of it. Probably spent a good amount of money in schooling as well. I'm not sure how much schooling costed back 2 decades ago. But when I asked her for advice on my business, she genuinely tries her best to give me advice, and it doesn't work. It doesn't help. She tells me very generic stuff that I have already known. And if you're learning, in short, basically what I'm trying to say is if you're learning from a college professor for business, you're better off to just do it by yourself. You don't need a degree to start a business. I don't have a single degree in university. I didn't even go to university. I dropped out. Sure, who knows how sustainable this business will be? You can always give me that argument. Oh, but what will you do when it stops working? What will you do in 5 years from now, 10 years from now? There's something called innovation. So the direct proportionate to how successful you will become is also indirect proportionate in your ability to adapt and evolve in different environments. If AI becomes the next trending thing, cool, I'll get out of YouTube, move into AI. Or I'll use AI as my advantage to grow even bigger on YouTube. If for whatever reason YouTube shuts down, okay, I'll just move to TikTok. If TikTok gets banned, I'll just move to the next best thing. If every single social media gets banned, I guarantee you there will be something new that pops up that will replace social media. Because there's no reason then for social media to get resumed. Anyways, then I'll just move into that next industry, become popular and big in it, understand how that industry works, and then put my all energy efforts into it, make connections, because I already have a handful of individuals who are very, very smart, intelligent, with really, really successful businesses that I can contact, put ourselves into a very, very good position. And the probabilities of success is very high. Because this is a very good quote by Luke Ballmer. You say you don't bet. I don't like to bet. This just sucks. I don't bet on myself. Everything in life is a bet. What is betting? It's simply a game of probabilities. What's the probabilities of success in business? Is the probabilities of success in business larger than a coin flip? Do you believe in yourself that you have the best probabilities of success within business? Because all it is measured down to how prepared you are to a specific opportunity when it comes into your way. All luck is, and all success is how prepared you are. I don't know why that took me so long to say. The probability of luck, the probability of you winning, is simply merged down to how well you are prepared for a specific opportunity when it comes your way. And so the harder you work, the more prepared you become, the more lucky you'll become. And that's how success works. So I can guarantee you, very, very much so, no, not even guarantee, I can absolutely assure you that if everything was lost and taken out of my hands tomorrow. 12 months later, I'll be back up exactly where I am right now. It's all about, this also comes not because I'm arrogant and I have a high ego, but simply because I have proven to myself with sheer capability that I am not a liar to myself. I am a man of my word. I told myself I was going to buy a Corvette before 2025. What happened? Got it in July. I told myself, guaranteed, that I would never work a 9-to-5 job and I would make it out of the corporate system. What happened? That happened. I have proven to myself so many times to the point where I know as a fact, if I genuinely tell myself something, I am capable enough to back up my words 100% of the way, and I am able to get to that destination. And that comes by being truthful to yourself. If you told yourself that you were going to start a business, and then you start playing Fortnite, or then you start going to the club, getting drunk, you don't deserve it. You're a liar. You are a liar and a scammer to yourself. The scam isn't in buying a $5,000 mentorship. The scam isn't even buying a $50,000 course at university. The scam is you yourself telling yourself that you're going to do something and that you should do something, but then you don't do it. Everyone says they should. Oh, I should do this. I should do that. What do you mean you should? What does that even mean? You should? Okay, I should have $1 billion. I should have Elon Musk's companies all under my name. What does that even mean? It doesn't mean you will do it. The reason why you say you should is simply acknowledging the fact that you haven't done it yet. Because if you did already, you said, I did, or I must. Everyone knows what they're supposed to do. You know exactly what you're supposed to do to make $1 million this year. You know exactly what you have to do, yet you don't take action because you then blemish it with saying, I should. And you think that you know what's best for you, which you most likely do as well. So in terms of boiling it down, you are not stupid. You're just lazy or you're arrogant. Andrew Tate said this is the best. But those are the two most common reasons why you aren't where you want to be in. So instead of saying I should, switch it to I must. See where your life will head to a few months later down the road. And when you genuinely back up your words 100% of the way, you can start off with small things, such as saying, I will make my bed today. I must make my bed today. Then you do it. Boom. You're not a liar to yourself. You can hold yourself a little bit more accountable, and what your words convey is almost to a larger, substantial, deeper meaning. And back yourself up every single day, starting off with small tasks, going on to medium-sized tasks, such as, I will guarantee I must make a website today. I must post a video today. Guarantee you how fast exponential growth and energy compounds. Because then it will turn into very large achievements. I must buy a Corvette this year. I must make $10,000 a month from my business this year. I must retire my parents by giving them $5,000 per month this year. I must do that. And you will genuinely believe with full conviction that you are able to do that simply because you have backed up yourself 100% of the way during the times where it got difficult, during the times where you felt like it wouldn't work, but you kept on doing it because you are a man of your word and do not lie to yourself. That is how you can achieve absolute substantial freedom and absolute greatness without being able to retire early completely, but you have the choice to retire early.